Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com and brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. Thank you, maybe Angela, for joining us on the show. I want to tell you guys that we had a fantastic Tuesday when we opened up our show with 13-year-old Mia from Voice for the Bullied. Excuse me. We got a lot of feedback from people. Somebody even sent me some art, some fan art to forward to her. So I'm sure she's going to enjoy that. It's always great to receive stuff from you guys, and it's great to know that we motivate you people enough that you want to get out your pens and paper and create some art. That's always fun. For us, it happened on Facebook some 13 maybe years ago, and we've been loving it ever since. So keep your fan art coming. If you have fan art for Mia, let me know. Send it to me, and I will forward it to Mia for you. So what I want to talk about today is how yoga helped me. Okay, about 3 years ago, I had a shoulder injury where I could not lift my shoulders up. I could not reach behind me as I can do now, and my my shoulders were really bad, always in pain. So I had to have surgery, but I was moving. So the doctor, I was moving on the 19th. I never forget that. Doctor, the earliest they can get me in was July 24th. And so I opted not to have the surgery because I didn't want to be living in any new place that I didn't know and have pain from the surgery, because I've had friends that have had the same situation. I have an aunt that had the same situation and had surgery, and I know that she was down, and all of them were down for months after the surgery. So I didn't want to have that. So when I moved, I started to think to myself, well, I'm going to have to get into something that's going to keep my shoulder going. And I forgot to mention this part. It was also that I went and got a second opinion. You should always get second opinions when it comes to having surgery, guys. And the doctor that told me about this, who I called for the second opinion, told me that I don't need surgery. I really don't. And he's the person that kind of led me to maybe you should just get some physical therapy. So in lieu of physical therapy, I knew that yoga was very good for helping people with physical limitations like I had. So I found an excellent yoga instructor who really worked with me to do things that can help my shoulder and get more mobility in my shoulder. And so about, I don't know how long it took, probably 8 months, I was able to get my hand over my head. I was able to do a lot more that I couldn't do when about 2 years ago. So yoga for me has really been a lifesaver, because I think if I would have had that surgery, I would have had pain through my life. People who have had that surgery have told me, even though the pain goes away, there's times that the pain is there. On the scene with Dean, thank you for joining the show. Where are you from, Dean? So I'm glad that I opted for yoga rather than um, rather than the surgery. It really helped me out. It really was a lot better for me. So I do want to tell you guys about some moves that I find keen. Now I know that some of you always DM me after I talk about yoga, that yoga is boring, that you want to get into yoga, but you can't really seem to get into it. You guys just have a lot of negative things about yoga, and that's okay. But I want to maybe help you guys that are really on the fence, but just find it boring, and want to help you guys with a way to try and find it exciting. Now, one thing that I know that I always get every time I talk about yoga is back pain. You guys are always telling me about back pain. So I want to show you guys what I do for back pain. This twist right here, a lot of people do. I see a lot of people that aren't even into yoga do this twist. I believe this twist originates from yoga. I'm not sure. One thing I do want to say is I'm not a yoga expert, so please consult a yoga expert before doing any things I tell you, and I'm not a doctor, so consult your doctor. And thank you for joining us. So these twists will help your back. I think that a lot of people with back problems, at least for me, what I've noticed is that if you don't use a muscle, and then when you do try and use it, that's when the stiffness comes up. That's what I noticed. That's just me as a person who's, worked out and exercises. That's what I noticed. So it's always important to keep your lower back mobile and moving and constantly doing something, so that when you do go to use it that one certain day, it just doesn't freeze up on you and then you have pain the rest of the time. So doing this stretch, this twist, I don't know what you want to call it, this twist will help a lot. So if your knees are facing, let's see, if your knees are facing to your right, then your hand and your head should be facing to your left. If you can't do that, some people can't, just look straight up. But you want to do whatever you do on one side, you want to do on the other. So this, for me, helps. It also helps with digestion. Doing twist helps with digestion because you're twisting that body and you're kind of moving around your intestines. So that helps with digestion. One other one that I do that's for the back is this one here. I guess I should show this picture first. First you get into this stance, okay? Then from this stance, you try to flip your back around and you try to put your face flat up against the wall. If you can't do it the first time, don't worry. You can try, you can just get as close as you can until you finally have your face and your arms flat up against the wall. Another one I do for lower back pain is this turning of the lower back. So turn, then you go the other way around, and you just keep doing that. You can make 3 circles. You can make 3 circles and then go the other way, and then make 3 more one way and then 3 more the other way. Whatever works for you, but definitely turning of this lower back will really help you out a lot. Another thing that I do is, I don't know what it's called, heel to heel. I lay down, palms up, with my heels touching. Now, the further away you are from your buttocks, it is going to be more painful. It's going to be less painful the further away you are from your buttocks. For instance, this one here that's on the screen is going to hurt a lot more. Well, I shouldn't say hurt, but it's going to, really work those muscles a lot more than this one will. So you want to start off with this one and then eventually get to this one. So for lower back, that's what I find helps. Another one that helps is this move here. My arms are between my legs, This helps my lower back as well. Also, um, the downward dog, the one move that everyone knows, right? Also helps your back. Now, what I was told about downward dog is it's the equivalent to that. You know that table where you lay down and you get on it and then it flips over and it inverts you? I heard that this move does the same thing that one does, and it's free and inexpensive, right? You just have to have a floor, and that's it. So that's the one thing about yoga. You know, I injured myself at work one time, and my employer took me to some rehab, right, for my wrist, and they had this net, you know, and you put your hand in the net, and it bends your fingers back, and you just keep pressing into the net. I really told the doctor that I like that. I really like that. That's great. And he said, "Oh, I can sell you this for a certain amount of money." And of course, that was expensive. But when you do yoga, you're doing a lot of these moves. You know, if you do yoga and you make sure your hands are spread out, I believe in the yoga world they call it starfish. And so in other words, you don't want your hands like this. You want your hands open wide like starfish. That gives that same effect when you're pushing yourself up in like in a downward dog position. It does that same effect that net does. That's what a doctor told me. So you're saving money. So, you know, and yoga is something easy you can do, right? You can go to Vimeo.com, who's a proud sponsor of thebullyexposed.com, and you can do a search for yoga and find a whole bunch of yoga instructors absolutely free. And then you can do this at home. So if money is keeping you from getting into yoga, I just threw that excuse right out the window for you. But if you do have the money and you do want to exercise yoga with an instructor, then you can find one that's real good. The one thing that I've noticed that with people that get bored of yoga is the instructor does the same moves all the time. So you want to find an instructor, don't be afraid to ask that question. Or you an instructor that does the same moves all the time. And hopefully they're not, and they'll be honest. So this is a move here also, got these two pictures for you, that helps the back as well. Okay, this one helps the back as well, the lower back. So if you want to, it also helps, I don't know what that lower part of your bottom is, where your sith bones are at. It also helps there as well. So whatever you do to the left, always do to the right. Remember that. Let's see what I got here for you. If you have bad shoulders like me, this move here will help you a lot. So you can do this with a towel if you don't have a belt, or you can do this even with your regular belt that goes around your waist. Take it off your waist, and you really shouldn't have it on when you're doing yoga or exercising. So just take it out and do this with a regular belt, and that'll help you. You also want to bring it to the front, bring it to the back as far as you can, but this helps. This is one move that helped me out a lot with my shoulder issues, as well as downward dog as well. So let's see. Here's another one that helped me with my shoulder. You can't see because of the picture is covering it, but I'm actually touching the wall, bringing my hand over and touching the wall on the other side. So if you can't touch the wall, you get as far as you can till you eventually can touch the wall. But again, whatever you do to your left, you do to your right. So this is a move that helped my shoulder out a lot. Here's a move that also helped. You can't tell from the picture, but I have my hands up against the wall, keeping me balanced. And what I wanted to show you this, and this is a move you can do before you learn how to balance yourself. You can use the wall. It's okay to use the wall for balance until you build your balance up and your core up to be able to stand like this. In this picture, you can't tell again, but in this picture, I'm not holding the wall. I'm not holding anything up. But here again, you can use, with this one, I'm holding the wall up with my leg. So either way, you don't have to get out there and start balancing yourself right away. The balance comes with eventually working it out. Now, here's another move that I found that was very good for my shoulders. It took me, I think it took me a month to really get this and learn how to do it. So you're pretty much doing a split up against the wall, and with that one leg down and one leg up, your shoulders have to really be engaged, but not as much as if you did this. So if you do like a handstand with the wall supporting you, then it's all the pressures in your shoulders. But before you get there, you can start it off by doing this. And then of course, if you have your left leg up, then you switch and have your right leg up, and you keep doing that until you can finally get both legs up. And then this is my favorite one, and this one I brought this one up before. It's called foot up the wall. And so you keep your feet up the wall, and I have told people about this one a lot. And one person wrote to me and actually told me, Jeff, Anish, thank you for joining the show. Where are you from, Jeff? I have really actually told somebody about this move, and they told me that they couldn't sleep. I told them that it's a good move when you're unable to sleep. So they told me that they couldn't sleep one day, and that they did the move and they slept like a baby for, I think, more than 8 hours, I believe is what they told me. So this really helps. So let me show you the side of that. So you can put a block if you have yoga blocks, or you can put a towel. I put a towel there to kind of lift you up. What you want to do is you actually want to get your hips over your heart. And for some reason, I don't know why, but when your hips are higher than your heart pumps that blood back into your hips, and then with your legs up, it rushes all that blood down so that your heart can push fresh blood up to your legs, keeping your legs, because we're on our feet all day. It's old blood that's down there. No new blood comes up. So when you do foot up the wall, it keeps that blood circulating. Now, I had a cousin who was diabetic. She had some kind of juvenile diabetes that she had all her life, and I know that she told me that she likes to unfortunately walk around barefooted, and I don't know exactly how it works, but when you have diabetes and you walk around barefoot and you get a cut in your foot, your body really takes a long time to heal it. Now, I don't know what that has to do with diabetes. As a person without diabetes, their foot's going to heal a lot quicker as opposed to a person without diabetes. I don't know exactly how that works, but that was her situation. So I told her about feet up the wall, and she did feet up the wall a lot, and it helped circulate that blood. So if you have diabetes, you people probably know a person with diabetes, if they don't take care of it, their foot or leg can be amputated. If you do foot up the wall, if I had diabetes and had that situation, I would do it 3 days a week. You get up in the morning, you do it. In the afternoon, sometime in the afternoon, you do it. And then before you go to bed, you do it again. That's what I would do. But it helps. So if you have diabetes and doctor's saying if you don't start taking care of yourself, we're going to have to amputate, one of the things you can do is foot up the wall to help that. Now, there's no guarantee it's going to work, but I know that I've told a few people that, and it has worked out. And again, what works for some of us may not work for everybody. So, but foot up the wall is definitely something that I do a lot. And as I told you, I told one of the followers about it, and the next day they emailed me or they DM'd me and told me that they tried it and they slept like a baby. So foot up the wall might be something you want to check out. But that's how yoga helped me, guys. That's how it has been beneficial to me. I think for all you people that are really don't want to join it or really kind of feel weird about it, I think you should try and give it another look. The one thing that I do say about yoga is you don't, a lot of people think, okay, if I do yoga, I have to devote an hour. You don't have to devote an hour. You can devote, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I think that if you're a person that only has 5 minutes, you will see that 5 minutes of yoga, you will feel very refreshed and ready to take on the day, and that'll wake you up to think, hey, maybe I should give more time to yoga. Sometimes if I'm really in a rush, foot up the wall. These two moves right here is all I do. If I have 15 minutes, I'm on a 15-minute break, then I will do this move right here for 15 minutes, and that's enough to get me refreshed. So you don't have to spend an hour. It'd be good if you can spend an hour doing yoga, but it's not written in stone that you have to do an hour worth of yoga. So think about that. So that's going to do it for us, guys. I want to thank you for watching this. If you're watching this on the recorded version or the live version, I want to thank you for watching it. Remember, put a comment in. Tell me what you want to learn about, or questions you might have about yoga. Let me know. Put it in the comments and let's start a conversation between a bunch of people. I have a bunch of yoga instructors that follow this page. They might be able to answer your questions as well. So don't forget to put it in the comment section. If you are embarrassed, you could always DM us and I'll find a way to answer your question about yoga from my friend who's a yoga instructor, all right? So remember, live feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com, and also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. Remember, anyone can be a hero, anyone can wear the crown, and I said that backwards, didn't I? Anyone can wear the crown, anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another and have a great day. Bye now.